hours later, this is KTTC News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Overley in for Caitlin Alexander tonight. Well, July 4th celebrations are about to kick into high gear, and a lot of people are keeping an eye to the sky. So we begin with our chief meteorologist, Nick Jensen, out on the weather patio. Will Mother Nature cooperate with us this year for the 4th? Nick?
Oh, well, Tom, we really need the rainfall, but hopefully we're able to see some fireworks coming up tomorrow night. Not in terms of thunderstorms, but in terms of just the celebration of the 4th of July. We'll be tracking the chance for some showers and thunderstorms not only tomorrow, but also through the evening here tonight. It is awfully hot and humid outside, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere for some of these thunderstorms to feed off of. And we do have some isolated thunderstorms just to the north of Highway 14 and just to the west of I-35 into Steele County here for Owatonna. This little batch of thunderstorm activity probably I think we miss out on it here in Rochester. Probably will move just to our north. We'll see if it holds together or not. If they're able to hold together and kind of ride right along Highway 14, we might see the chance for the thunderstorm coming up in the next hour or so. This is all right along a frontal boundary. That cold front will be key for the chances for some storms coming up tomorrow afternoon and evening. Outside currently just some sunshine, and it is warm. Temperatures here on our Lewis and Otta live camera at 86. We did have feel-like conditions just last hour in the lower 90s here in Rochester. One of the warmer days we've had this calendar year. High temperatures today in Red Wing getting all the way up into the mid-90s. So some of us into the lower 90s for those high temperatures. Hour by hour forecast. A couple stray thunderstorms will be possible probably before sunset here tonight in some spots. Right now that's looking to be west of Highway 52. And then we look towards tomorrow. Yeah, what we're tracking, the chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms potentially after about sunset tomorrow night. So close to dusk when a lot of those fireworks are taking place. We'll be tracking the chance for some of those thunderstorms maybe impacting the region. We'll have that and more coming up in your full first alert forecast. Tom, back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, it's important to be aware of the impact, the extreme heat, and how to take care of your health while enjoying any outdoor activities, especially tomorrow. The extreme heat conditions are defined locally as weather that is much hotter than average for a particular time and place. And because of climate change, hotter than usual days and nights are becoming more common. Dr. Vishnu Sirapanini with the U of M Medical School discusses extreme heat and the effect it can have on your health.
Symptoms of heat illness can range from excess thirst, sweating, muscle cramps, to a headache, lightheadedness, or even fainting. And if we don't respond to these symptoms and take the appropriate measures, heat exhaustion may progress to heat stroke, which is a medical emergency.
Dr. Sirapanini also says that even if you don't experience a heat stroke, extreme heat can take a toll. For example, chronic dehydration can lead to chronic kidney failure. Doug Burgum says if elected president, he would support term limits for Supreme Court justices. The North Dakota governor and GOP presidential hopeful made those comments at an event in Nevada and in Nevada, Iowa today. Burgum gave lengthy answers to audience questions on perceived wasteful government spending, immigration, and term limits for Congress and the Supreme Court.
I think there needs to be some cap on the back end, and whether it's a term limit or some kind of other, age limit or something, that might make sense to do that versus, until death do you part, because that some people, may stay longer than they might, or maybe should have, if you've got that.
And known to few outside of North Dakota, Burgum faces an immense challenge in a field dominated by former President Donald Trump and the better-known governor in the race, Ron DeSantis of Florida. Happening this week, the city of Austin is celebrating Independence Day with an annual event. The Freedom Festival started yesterday. It'll be going on through tomorrow. It's taking place at the Bandshell Community Park with family-friendly activities all along through the day. It's organized by the Austin Enhancement Group. This is their second year of hosting the festival. And this afternoon, the event featured performances including dancing, music, and magic. Food vendors and playgrounds will be open until 8 p.m.
There's excitement that everybody gets to kind of come and enjoy the fruits of all of volunteers' labor. Just a sense of community and gratitude, just that we all get to celebrate kind of together as a community. And there's so many people that helped make this happen. So it's kind of a great sense of kind of community togetherness.
And tomorrow, the festival will feature special activities, including a cornhole tournament, an ice cream social, and a veterans bingo. The day will end with fireworks tomorrow at 10 p.m. Well, this afternoon in Albert Lea, a company donated and installed some new windows and doors for the Chapman House Foundation's new Veterans Home. Home Solutions Midwest were in full swing since this morning, setting up the new windows and doors that they donated at the Veterans Home in Giles Place, Albert Lea. Home Solutions Midwest is an Albert Lea-based company, specializes in the installation of things like windows, doors, siding, and more. The city donated the house to the Chapman House Foundation. That organization is renovating the building as it had gone through a fire. The house will serve as a welcoming space for veterans in need.
This is just what good Americans do. They support their country, especially on 4th of July. They support the veterans. It's a wonderful thing that so many volunteers have come out today and donated their time. It's kind of hot, it's kind of muggy, but they're here working.
And the Chapman House Foundation is planning to have 5 to 6 homes available for veterans in the Albert Lea area. And Albert Lea is also celebrating Independence Day week as food vendors open shop downtown. Mobile business owners are fully set up for the city's North Broadway parking lot to celebrate the annual 4th of July Jamboree. They'll be open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. until Independence Day. In addition to the vendors, there will be a 3rd of July parade at 6 p.m. in the city's Freeborn County Fairgrounds. Live music and a block party will follow later in the evening at the city.
It seems like the whole town and the surrounding, 3 counties come out for the parade today, and we have people stacked 20 deep. There's chairs lining the road already. People put them out yesterday and the day before so they could lock in their spots. So it's really cool to see the community really come out for this event.
Albert Lea will have activities on the 4th throughout the day, including a car show, a cruise, and live music. The day will end again with fireworks at 10 p.m. And 4th of July is tomorrow, and if you are looking for plans to do some things with your family and friends, KTTC has you covered. Beginning tonight, you can check out fireworks in Dover to get the celebration started. And tomorrow, there are many events around southeast Minnesota as well. You can attend one tomorrow night at 10 o'clock in Owatonna at the Steele County Fairgrounds, or stay right here in Rochester at Soldiers Field Park, also at 10. And for a full list of all the fireworks shows in the area and the times, more details again on KTTC.com. And as July 4th is tomorrow, many people have plans to watch the fireworks, but it's important to know safety protocols. We'll have more on that. Also, the city of Baltimore still in mourning after a deadly shooting, what the city officials are saying. And Nick will have more of that forecast coming up in your First Alert weather forecast in just a few moments. Stay with us.
The summer temps are heating up.
Welcome back. At least 2 people were killed, dozens more injured in a mass shooting at a block party in Baltimore yesterday. Officials say that shooting happened just after 12:30 a.m. in the Brooklyn Homes neighborhood. The victims range in age from 13 to 32. Half the injured victims are under the age of 18. The 2 people killed were both adults, an 18-year-old female and a 20-year-old male. Authorities say that they believe more than one shooter was involved. Here is what they say about the ongoing investigation during a press conference today.
We are still investigating. Most of them, as you know, are under the age of 18, so we have to get approval from the parent or have a lawyer present. We do have all the other victims that we're trying to talk to. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been released from the hospital, so now we have to try to find them in their homes and their neighborhoods.
And no arrests have been made in this case. It's a favorite July 4th pastime, and fireworks sales are expected to reach record levels this holiday season. That's according to the American Pyrotechnics Association. But safety experts urge caution as the explosive devices can be very dangerous, even deadly. Mandy Gaither has more on what you need to know about fireworks to stay safe on Independence Day.
From bottle rockets to aerial fireworks, Fun can turn dangerous in an instant if the explosive devices aren't properly used.
Last year, we had at least 11 deaths associated with it and over 10,000 trips to the emergency room with fireworks-related injuries.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says many of those hurt by fireworks in the month around July 4th last year were children, with sparklers accounting for about 600 of ER visits. 38% of the injuries were burns, with hands, fingers, head, face, and ears most often hurt.
Fireworks aren't toys and they're not for children. They're burning at 2,000 degrees, which is like a blowtorch.
If you plan to set off your own fireworks, experts say to first make sure that they're legal in your area. Keep a bucket of water or hose handy in case of a fire. Light fireworks one at a time, then move back quickly. Never try to relight or pick up fireworks that haven't fully ignited, and never use fireworks when under the influence.
That's actually where we see a lot of the injuries and deaths associated with fireworks.
Experts say the safest way to enjoy fireworks is to leave them to the professionals. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And the Consumer Product Safety Commission also says to beware of illegal fireworks. The agency says last year, about 43% of fireworks tested by their researchers were found to contain illegal parts, which could severely injure people. Some of the parts included fuses that don't comply with the law, chemicals that are prohibited, and the overloading of the pyrotechnic materials. The largest poultry producer in the U.S., Tyson Foods, plans to start giving its chickens antibiotics once again. A shift comes 8 years after the company announced it was ditching the drugs and began putting a no antibiotics ever label on its chicken packages. Now, Tyson says new labeling will be seen on packages of its chicken by the end of the year. The new labels will state no antibiotics important to human medicine. That's a standard recognized by the U.S. Department of Ag and the World Health Organization, which allows for the use of antibiotics not crucial to the treatment of human diseases. Tyson says about half of its U.S. poultry farmers use some form of antibiotics to help keep the chickens healthy. Antibiotic use in food has come under scrutiny in the recent years as some bacteria have become increasingly resistant to treatments as a result of frequent exposure to antibiotics. As for other major chicken producers in the country, Purdue says it will still not use them, and Pilgrim's Pride says it uses some. Pass the ketchup, please. Many Americans will celebrate tomorrow, July 4th, with hamburgers and hot dogs and ketchup. And lately, some social media users have been debating how to best store the popular condiment. Ketchup maker Kraft Heinz recently weighed in on the issue, saying in a tweet, "Ketchup goes in the fridge." A day later, the company asked the public via Twitter poll whether they kept their ketchup chilled or in the pantry. More than 13,000 responded. More than 63% say the fridge. Nearly 37% say they prefer their ketchup in the cupboard. In a 2017 Twitter user posed the same question to Heinz. At the time, Heinz responded, "Because of its natural acidity, Heinz ketchup is shelf stable, but refrigerate after opening to maintain quality." Hashtag Twitter down has been trending since Saturday. Thousands of users got messages saying rate limit exceeded. What appeared to be an outage turned out to be a temporary policy change. Twitter CEO Elon Musk posted that due to extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, the social media platform was imposing some limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day. Unverified can read 600 posts a day. And new accounts are limited to 300 posts a day. When CNN reached out to Twitter for comment, the platform responded with an automated emoji.
Here's your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Nick Jansen.
All right, back to weather. People wondering what's going to happen tomorrow, especially with the fireworks.
I know, right? We've been so dry lately.
It's crazy.
Now everyone will really be mad if we end up having the one chance that we have for rain, maybe ruining some fireworks shows coming up tomorrow night.
I live out by Elgin Plainview.
Sure.
We have not had rain since the middle of May. And then for Mother Nature to decide on July.
About the only rain that I can get at my house, the northwest side of town, is from my sprinkler, unfortunately. That's a lot of us here feeling the pain of that, although there's some showers outside currently here this evening. We'll take a look at our Lewis and Ada live camera. Currently, temperatures here in Rochester are warm. We're in the upper 80s at 86 degrees. We'll see what the high temperature today is in Rochester if we're able to reach 90 on an off hour at RST, meaning where they're not recording that data. They normally do it at the top of every hour. We'll see if we reach 90 degrees today for the first time this calendar year. Feels like 88 outside, wind out of the south-southwest at 11 miles per hour. Temperatures here locally mid-90s, 95 today in Red Wing. Notice Owatonna at 79. That's because we have some showers and thunderstorms through Steele County. Most areas still upper 80s and some lower 90s. Let's look pretty stray in terms of thunderstorm activity. These storms near I-94 expected to stay north of the area. We're watching that little round of some thunderstorm activity kind of fizzle out a little bit. You can see kind of losing some momentum here. We'll see just west of this Highway 14 marker here into Waseca County. If that can kind of hold together, if it kind of moves right along Highway 14 here, maybe looking at Highway 14 north for that chance for some thunderstorm activity. That's if the thunderstorms hold together here tonight. There will be a better chance, maybe a little bit more widespread in terms of thunderstorm activity along this front. It's a cold front currently, but it becomes more stationary overnight tonight, then eventually slowly moves through the area tomorrow evening and overnight. That's the driving force. That's our lifting mechanism for those chances for showers and thunderstorms. We look off to the west here and you can see those gray skies from those thunderstorms. Tonight here, stray storms possible until about sunset here tonight. 4th of July, hot and humid. We'll have high temperatures, upper 80s, low 90s, and then that chance for some thunderstorm activity through the evening. Highs then late this week into the 70s. We look towards tomorrow. Anywhere in the darker green, we have the threat for some scattered thunderstorms. I think a couple of those could be on the stronger side, potentially. I think that main severe threat looking north and then to the south of our region for tomorrow. But a couple of those storms, maybe some gusty winds and some hail included in those. Future track not handling the thunderstorm development outside at this hour well at all, showing no thunderstorm threat. About an hour or two off here with those thunderstorms starting to develop off to the west of I-35. They kind of fizzle out here later on tonight. So stray thunderstorms tonight. We look towards tomorrow. Notice most of the 4th of July were dry. High temperatures warming quickly. Maybe a couple little drizzle spots, but I just think that's some clutter for tomorrow afternoon. The main threat then starts to move in after about 6 o'clock and potentially impacting the region by about dusk, so say about 9 to 10 o'clock for that threat for some showers and thunderstorms. Rest of the evening, notice how stray those showers and thunderstorms will be, especially in terms of our rainfall accumulation. We fast forward through Wednesday, looking at maybe getting close to a ½ inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch in some spots, but still notice how dry it is in some of those gray areas, maybe down towards Charles City and Decorah. Temperatures here tonight, 67. Those stray showers and thunderstorms before dusk here tonight. We look towards the 4th of July. Now, again, I think most of the day we're probably dry tomorrow. High temperatures, Mississippi River Valley into the upper 80s and some lower 90s here. Most of southeast Minnesota, those high temperatures will be in the lower 90s with some sunshine throughout your day. Northern Iowa, upper 80s and some lower 90s. Then we'll work in the chance for showers and thunderstorms scattered throughout the late evening hours. And then for Wednesday, we'll see the threat for some showers in the morning. High temperatures the rest of the week after Tuesday, looking to be in the 70s. That'll do it for your First Alert forecast. More news coming up right after this.
KTTC weather brought.
Right now, the stranded hiker who activated an SOS feature on her iPhone when she had no cell service will show you how it works. Plus, summer on the slopes, how record snowfall in the west means they're skiing for the 4th tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Well, an aide to former President Donald Trump is set to be arraigned this week. Also, the nation is still reacting to the many historical decisions made by the Supreme Court last week. A look at everything that had happened. Let's bring in our KTTC's Washington correspondent, Peter Zampa. So, Peter, the aftermath of last week's historic Supreme Court decisions continues to really grip this country. Can you go over some of the fallout that we've seen so far?
Yeah, Tom, I can. You know, every day we've seen a little bit more fallout, a little bit more of this aftermath, including today. A civil rights group is calling into question the constitutionality of Harvard's legacy admissions program as a direct response to the Supreme Court gutting affirmative action or race-based admissions, effectively saying, look, if you're going to cut these race-based admissions, you need to take a look at other ways people are getting into these schools. Just because someone's grandfather or grandmother went to Harvard doesn't mean that their generations following them should. It should be merit-based if you really want to get down to it. So let's take a look at legacy admissions. Every time you come out with one of these big opinions, it doesn't just set the final word. It doesn't bring a sense of finality. If anything, Tom, it always seems to stoke more debate. And that's what we're seeing after this affirmative action case came down from the court last week. Same thing with the student loans program that was blocked in court, the president's student loan program. He immediately turned to his Secretary of Education and said, hey, what other laws can we tap into to make sure that we're getting this campaign promise done, to make sure that we're getting relief for these 43 million Americans. So the final word has not been said. It's just a matter of how long it takes to go through the court system again, and if it gets back to the Supreme Court.
Right, so much debate on these big issues. Also, Donald Trump's aide, alleged co-conspirator, is set to be arraigned in Miami, I think on Thursday. What's the latest in his ongoing legal troubles?
That's right, Tom. Walt Nauta, his aide, his longtime aide, he was supposed to be arraigned alongside Donald Trump all those weeks ago. It didn't happen because he didn't have the right counsel to represent him in the Southern District of Florida, so it was pushed to last week. Last week, he missed his flight to Miami, and he still didn't have the appropriate counsel. This week, we still don't know if he's found the right counsel to represent him in this case. And Tom, this is just a symptom of a larger issue here that this case is dragging on. Jack Smith called for a speedy trial. He said it's the right of every American. We want to make this fast. It is not going to be fast. It was supposed to start in August. Now Jack Smith is asking if it can start in December because he knows how long this is going to lag. And legal experts say this is exactly what the Trump team wants. They want to drag this thing out as long as possible. We'll see how long that actually ends up being.
All right, Peter Zampa in Washington, we appreciate your insight. And we will be right back. Stay with us.
Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest gets underway tomorrow at 11 a.m. sharp. But this afternoon, the official weigh-in. Everyone's favorite thing, right?
Yeah,
it's the best thing about the 4th of July.
During the annual hot dog eating contest, the contestants have 10 minutes to see how many hot dogs and the buns they can eat. But first, the contestants are weighed in. Mickey Sudo took first place in the competition last year, downing 40 hot dogs. She became a 7-time champ. And of course, there is Joey Chestnut, the undisputed champ, who put down 63 hot dogs back in 2022. And the year prior, he broke his own record, eating 76. So more than 4,000 will watch the contest in person on Coney Island, and over 1 million are expected to tune in on TV. Here's a fun fact, by the way. As you're downing those hot dogs, you are allowed to put a little ketchup, a little mustard.
Hey, real quick, how many hot dogs do you think you could eat?
Like in 10 minutes?
Yeah, however long they get.
Probably 4 or 5.